welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into the source material on crows. You know those birds we often just see as, well, pests.
Right. But the research paints a very different picture. We're talking about one of the most intelligent creatures on Earth. Seriously.
It's kind of staggering when you first hear it. The idea that crows and the whole corvid family, really ravens, magpies too, that they have abilities that, well, sometimes rival a 7-year-old kid.
Or even outperform apes in certain tests, yeah. It's incredible. Their problem solving is just off the charts for a non-primate.
Okay, but how? I mean, their brains are tiny, right? Like physically small. How do they pack that much cognitive power in there?
Well, it's not strictly about the overall size. The brain-to-body ratio is actually pretty similar to chimpanzees.
Okay.
But the real key seems to be the density. Their neurons are just packed incredibly tightly and wired very efficiently. Think of it like a super compact computer processor.
So maximum bang for the buck, neurologically speaking.
Exactly. Mental economy.
And we see proof of this, reasoning, right? There was that famous experiment, the one with the stones in the tube.
Oh, yeah. Water displacement task. Classic Aesop's fable stuff, but real. They had floating food they couldn't reach in a tube of water.
So they had to figure out how to get it.
Right. And what they did, without any prior training, mind you, was drop stones into the tube. They understood somehow that this would raise the water level.
That's not just instinct. That sounds like actual thinking, cause and effect, planning.
It really does point towards true reasoning, yeah. Which requires, a pretty good memory.
And that ties into their social lives, doesn't it? The whole holding grudges thing.
The University of Washington study, yes. That one's famous for a reason. Researchers wore specific masks while they briefly caught and banded some crows.
And the crows remembered those specific masks, those faces.
For years, they'd sound alarm calls whenever someone wearing that mask appeared. But here's the really wild part. They taught it to the next generation. Younger crows, who had never personally had a bad experience with the masked person, still reacted aggressively.
So they passed on the warning. Like, watch out for this guy.
Exactly. It's basically cultural transmission of information, which is huge. And that innovation, that learning, it extends to tool use, too.
Right. The New Caledonian crows, they make hooks, don't they, out of twigs and stuff?
They do. They're known for crafting these little tools to dig out insects. But then there's the story of Betty.
Oh, Betty the crow. What did she do?
Betty was given a straight piece of wire in a lab setting. The food was in a container, needed a hook to get it out.
Okay.
And on her very first try, having never seen this before, she bent the wire into a perfect hook and got the food.
Whoa. Not using a tool, but making one on the spot. From something completely new.
Precisely. That's genuine innovation. Problem solving, not just imitation.
Okay, so they're smart. They hold grudges, they make tools. What about their social and emotional side? I've heard about crow funerals. Is that a real thing?
Well, funeral might be a bit anthropomorphic, but yes, when a crow dies, others often gather around, silently.
What are they doing? Paying respects.
Researchers think it's more like information gathering. They're studying the scene, trying to figure out what happened, Was it a predator? Was there a danger they need to know about? It's risk assessment.
Smart. Learning from tragedy.
And they show empathy, too. They've been seen comforting each other after fights, like gently preening feathers.
Wow. And they communicate all this complex stuff. I read they even have regional dialects.
Yeah, like accents. Their calls can vary quite a bit depending on where they live, suggesting pretty sophisticated communication about their environment, about dangers, food sources.
Which helps explain how they thrive in our environments, right? The urban settings.
Absolutely. Which leads to maybe the most famous example of their sheer adaptability, the traffic light trick.
Oh, I love this one. Tell everyone.
Okay, so picture this. A crow wants to eat a hard nut, like a walnut. It can't crack it easily. So it flies over a busy road, drops the nut, and waits for a car to run it over.
Clever, but dangerous.
But here's the genius part. They often wait for the traffic light to turn red or for the pedestrian signal. Then they hop down, grab the cracked nut when it's safe, and fly off.
They learn traffic patterns. They're using our infrastructure.
They observe us, learn our routines. It's incredible adaptation. It ties back, even into mythology. Odin had Hujin and Munin thought and memory as his raven companions.
So this intelligence has been recognized, in a way, for centuries.
And today, scientists are seriously talking about crows potentially developing what we might call actual culture, passing down knowledge, tool techniques, warnings.
So the big takeaway here is just how adaptable they are. They're watching us, learning our schedules, our systems.
And evolving right alongside us, using our world to their advantage.
So the final thought then, maybe the next time you lock eyes with a crow.
Yeah, just remember, it might not just be looking at you, it might be studying you, figuring you out. Don't ever underestimate that bird on the wire.